Town. So, gig etiquette. People behave terribly at gigs, just terribly. And not only do the people around them at the gig not enjoy it, but I don't understand how they enjoy it. So here's my handy guide to gigs and how not to be a total... Okay, shoving. Shoving is something people do at gigs. They shove their way to the front and they barge and push and make people move out of their way to get to the front. That's okay. If you want to get to the front and see your favourite band really close up, that's okay. Be kind of courteous about it, but you can move to the front. Okay, but what you don't do is just barge your way through like, because that's really, really not cool. And here's a novel thought. Why not show up early if you really want to be right at the front? Then you don't have to shove your way through. So shoving's okay, but only if it's a standing gig. Shouting at gigs, another thing that's kind of okay in certain circumstances, okay? People go to gigs and they just shout out all the way through. They go, woo! Or they go, yeah, play, la 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 la, or I love you, blah, blah, blah. Right, that's fine, but do it in between songs and only a little bit, not all night. People go to gigs, they want to enjoy themselves, they want to have a bit of a dance. The only thing I'll say about it is, there's other people at the gig. Don't dance in a way that you're shoving your elbows in people's faces. Don't dance in a way that you need 6 foot radius around you. And most of all, don't do that dance where you just stand there with your arms up in the air. Especially if you're in front of me. Pay good money to look at some people play some music, not look at your hairy arms, love, alright? This is a tricky one because on the one hand you want to be taking photos and videos to immortalise this wonderful moment and enjoy the gig and remember it for years to come. But people spend whole gigs just holding their phone up and fiddling with the settings and zooming in on the drum kit and oh, for goodness sake, enjoy it! And there are also people who do big flashes, and you know those red guide lights that some cameras have on them where you press the thing half down and the red light comes on, shines right in the singer's eyes. Don't know why people do that. And then they do it again, and then they do it again. It's amazing. They actually have this sort of informal rule in press photography of gigs, which is called 3 songs, no flash. Okay, so the first 3 songs, you can take as many photos as you like. Don't use your flash, it's really annoying. That kind of seems fair to me. So you can get a little clip, you can enjoy yourself, and then you can watch the gig that you paid to see. Sorry, just having a little drink there. 5. Singing along. Singing along is another thing. It's kind of a bit difficult to decide whether it's okay or not. A lot of bands encourage it, and a lot of people kind of just go to gigs to sing along with their favourite band. Half the time I think, I've paid to come and see Robbie Williams, this band that is awesome, and so I want to hear them do it. But then another part of me says, oh, it's really good fun to sing along. So I'm going to say this is the official etiquette guideline. Sing along by all means, but only if you're not terrible at singing and right in my ear. If you're louder than the band on stage, you're too loud. And if you're any worse at singing than will.i.am, then you're too bad. Just keep it shut. And finally, talking. Talking. I don't understand this one. This is my favourite, worst one. I've been to gigs where people have paid money for tickets to stand facing the wrong way, talking to their mates and talking on their phones the whole way through. I don't understand it. I've been to some gigs where the general level of chatter is so loud that the artist on stage has had to say something. Not bad gigs either. I can understand if it's just boring and terrible, people get bored and start talking, but really good gigs that people have paid to go and see. And they just stand there chatting and mucking around and looking the other way. Literally, seriously, I've seen people looking the other way for whole gigs. I don't understand that. Again, the occasional comment behind a hand to a friend stood next to you, that's kind of cool, because you're there to see something together and discuss it and enjoy it. But if you're just chatting about what you have for dinner or who's going out with whom at the weekend, save it for afterwards. Save it for, oh, go and sit in the toilet and do it. God, ugh. Awful. So to summarise, people just behave terribly at gigs. Don't do it. If you're going to a gig, enjoy it, but remember that there's other people around you who have paid money to see this thing. They might want to enjoy it in a different way. But most of all, just don't be an idiot. Enjoy it yourself. Don't waste your whole time playing on your camera or talking to your mates, or just sit there, stand there, whatever. Watch the amazing people, listen to the amazing music, let it enrich your life, then go home and watch Game of Thrones or whatever you do. That way true happiness lies, grasshoppers. See you tomorrow.
Georgetown. I am Georgetown.